Do you feel fulfilled in life? The show will begin in 4 minutes. Are you ready? When was the last time you felt betrayed?
Why is it so many people don't get a text back after a first date? In this video, I want to give you...
When was the last time you felt loved? The show will begin in 3 minutes. Are you ready? What did it feel like to be in love? What is the most painful part of being in love? The show will begin in 2 minutes. Are you ready? Are you ready to be transformed? Are you ready to make a change? The show will begin in 1 minute. I hope you're ready. The show will begin in exactly 30 seconds. Get ready.
What if I told you he is actually lying to you? What if I also told you it's very easy to spot those lies if you just knew exactly what to look for? If that sounds impossible to you, don't worry. On today's show, we're going to be discussing 5 scary things men often lie about. That way, you can know the what and the why, but you can also avoid being the last one to learn about the truth of your man. Welcome to the Players Club. If you're paying attention to me and everyone else in the live stream, please say here present so that I know you're here present and actively participating for the second time. Okay. All right. We should be all good now. I just had to do a quick restart of my computer. Welcome all you guys. You guys know the drill. Let's get started. Okay. I know I see you all here. Welcome all you beautiful people, but I just don't want to waste any more time. I want us to get started, but you know, I see all of y'all beautiful souls in the chat. All right. So let's get started with our number 1 point, which is going to be, you surprised? Anyone have any guesses what point number 1 is going to be today? Okay. Anyone? Anyone? Guess in the chat? Anyone? Okay. So point number 1 here is going to be intensity. Now, unfortunately, men are going to be lying to you about the level of intensity they feel in their heart towards you and towards this relationship. It's actually one of the really common things that men are going to lie about, right? Some of you might consider this love bombing. Some of you might consider just future faking, right? There's many different words, phrases, ideas and concepts behind faking intensity, or let's say lying about intensity, right? And you have to understand it's a great tactic because of a psychological trick that I'm kind of going to play to you here and make you understand a little bit better, okay? So this is the thing, right? Your graph, right, and when it comes to intensity, looks something like this, all right, in these two versions. Right? So what I want to kind of show you here is a little bit of a graph that's supposed to represent what things should look like in a healthy relationship and what they look like in a toxic one, right? Something where he's love bombing you, something where he, is future faking you, something where you're getting played, essentially. All right. So let's start off with the toxic one. And this is the thing in how men lie about intensity. So we have intensity here on the left side of our graph. Don't worry, we're not in math class. I just want to give you a little bit of a visual. And we have days over here. So as days are passing, intensity here is going up this way. So you're going to have a lot of men that start off with you right around here at the very beginning on day 0. But what you're going to notice is happening over the course of time is this intensity is going to go down and down and down and down until it's probably coming off the graph here, all right? And so here's the thing, and the reason that I want to kind of show you this little bit of a visual, and I think some of you have seen this visual from me before. The reason I want to show you this visual is because this is what you actually perceive from him in terms of his actions and the way he treats you and goes about this relationship, right? You might get a lot of compliments and a lot of lovey-dovey words, right? I put intense wrong here. Chat, you didn't notice that? You didn't notice I spelt it wrong up here? You should have said something. I see y'all didn't say nothing in the chat. Okay. One of the things you're going to notice is that this is what it's going to feel like, right? You're going to notice that intensity in the way that he treats you and goes about the relationship over the course of days kind of fall off of a cliff here. And you're going to be thinking to yourself, well, I thought you were really excited about this relationship at the very beginning. I thought you really were enjoying where this was going to go. I thought we were going to get married. I thought we were going to do all the things that you were getting me hyped up for. But then you notice that that same hype, that same intensity starts to fall off of a cliff. Now, let's quickly take a look at the graph, how it's supposed to look from the standpoint of a healthy relationship, okay? In fact, it's ironic because the way the graph is supposed to look in a healthy relationship is quite literally the opposite, where the intensity is supposed to be the least at the very beginning, meaning on day 0. And as time goes on, that intensity is supposed to ramp up and ramp up and ramp up until you guys become boyfriend and girlfriend and then eventually married and then eventually having children and all that good stuff. And so here's the thing. See, men lie about intensity because they want to do something very interesting to you. They want to get you convinced that this is way, very, very serious, very, very quickly. So lying about intensity and the intensity that he feels within himself is a great way to get you hyped up also about the relationship And as you get hyped up, what do you start doing? You start feeling this subconscious pressure to do more for him because you feel like this relationship is more and more serious than it actually is. So you're probably thinking, okay, Thompson, guys lie about intensity, and I kind of understand why they lie about intensity, but how can I avoid or spot men who are lying about their intensity? Well, I'm glad you asked. Okay, so the way that you're going to spot this in your relationships is, see, you have to, there's a theory that people talk about. I've heard Mel Robbins talk about it, but I've also heard a couple of other people talk about it. They call it the let them theory, where you just let people do whatever it is that they want with you and in the relationship. Now, I don't mean it from the standpoint that you allow people to walk all over you, but you let them show you what they really mean, who they really are, and what they're really about, instead of trying to force people to be who you want them to be, right? Meaning you're Prince Charming, meaning the type of guy you want to date, meaning the type of guy you want to be your husband, right? You might have a visual or an understanding of what you think you want out of a man. But then when you meet this guy and you like him, you try to force him to fit that mold of what you expect a man to be. Meanwhile, he's never been that and has no intention of being that. So I say that to say, instead of trying to force the men that you're dating to be who you imagine them to be, what you want to do instead is allow men to show you who they are over the course of time. Also, simultaneously, what you can't do or make the mistake of is in these early days, begin trying to mirror his intensity back to him, okay? And we're actually going to talk about mirroring in a little bit, right? And why it's so important, right? Because here's the thing, when he's really intense with you at the very beginning, you start to think to yourself, oh, I'm a bad person if I don't show him that same level of intensity back to him and make it feel like we're on the same level. If you're really intense with me, you're taking this relationship really seriously, but I'm not taking it as seriously because it's literally day one. I feel subconscious pressure to meet you where you're already existing. But that's a problem, because if you feel subconscious pressure to be and act like a guy's wife on day one, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be doing a whole lot of wife things. You're going to be giving him a whole lot of wife treatment and a whole lot of wife pleasure. But you're not a wife. You don't have a ring on your finger, and you're not even a girlfriend yet. But you see how it's really good for him to get it really, really intense at the very beginning. So now what you want to do is stop emotionally investing yourself so heavily in men from the very beginning. And even when they try to speed you up or get you on this level on day one, you say, absolutely not, right? You don't have to tell them this. You say to yourself, absolutely not. I'm going to pace myself, see you when I have time, see you when I'm available, and see you at the pace and the consistency that works for me. I'm not going to rearrange my entire week to spend time with you. I'm also not going to cancel a whole bunch of plans to spend time with you. If there's a week that's packed for me and we haven't seen each other for a week, I'm going to dedicate my time to all the things that were my priorities before you came in my life. You can hang out with me when I have time on my terms. This is what you want to be doing. The reason that you want to be doing that is because you want to gauge. See, the guys are good at making, oh, I love you so much. You're the best thing since sliced bread. I think you're so amazing. It's great. But let's see if he can hold that for an extended period of time of months, of weeks, right? Of many days, that he can hold that level of intensity and fascination with you. And it sounds simple in theory, but you have to be very good at holding your water when the guys are going to push it to the limit on those first couple of days and those first couple of weeks, because that's the best, most convenient time for them to lie about their intensity, right? The intensity within them, right? They're going to make you feel like there's a burning desire and passion within their soul about you and about this relationship. They're going to make it seem like this relationship right now as it exists, even though he just met you. Oh my God, don't you know? I fell in love with you when I met you. Look into my eyes. I have never loved a woman as much as I love you right now. Okay? And he's going to want to convince you of that, right? And make you feel like that this is really happening. Because when you feel like that's really happening, that's the moment you make mistakes, okay? So men are lying to you their intensity often, okay? Because it benefits them to get you to do what they want you to do. Now, we're going to talk about a second one here, which is a little bit more, I guess we could say, prevalent, whether you're dating a guy or whether you're just friends with benefits with him. And so we will discuss, right? So, number 2. All right. So number 2 is going to be free time. Now, this is one of the things that men often lie about, because what is one of the most common questions that you ask the men that you're dating? You ask them, hey, I see that you haven't been texting me lately. I see that you haven't been calling me lately. I see that, you just haven't been reaching out or have any desire to go on dates with me as much as you did before. I'm just wondering what's going on. It seems like you're becoming quite distant now. Right? You get anxious, you get worried, and you send him a whole bunch of messages asking him what's going on. And what is the number one thing that men usually respond to you, okay? This is actually where I want you guys to participate. So tell me in the chat, what is the number one thing that men will tell you if you were to text a guy and ask him, hey, I wonder, can you explain to me how come you're not texting me that much anymore, reaching out to me anymore, or, seeming that you want to hang out anymore? What's the most common response that you usually hear from men when you ask them why they haven't been reaching out that much anymore or contacting you that much anymore, okay? I want to see everyone participate because I want to make sure you're paying attention and I want us to discuss here, okay? Everyone got to participate. Someone said, what do you mean? Okay. I see a lot of I'm busy, all right? I see some people say I got a lot going on right now. I've been working. I've been going through a lot. All right, I like these, all right? My family emergency, right? So here's the thing about free time that I want us to take notice of is free time is one of the most common things that men will often lie to you about in their life. Let's really break this down here, all right? All right, so obviously you have 7 days in a week, right? Now, of these 7 days, you only have a limited amount of time. Obviously, you're gonna sleep for 8 hours, then you're gonna work, and then you have the weekend. You might be doing family stuff, you might be doing friend stuff. See, what the guys are going to convince you of that limited time throughout the week, everything is absolutely full to the brim, okay? And because everything is full to the brim, he has no time to spend with you. Those all 7 days is literally filled with one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And see, here's the problem with this lie though, because this lie is meant to make you feel like, oh, if any of these days were free, I would love to hang out with you, right? If I had any space in any of these days, I would love to see you and spend time with you. And the only reason I haven't reached out, the only reason I haven't texted you is because I just haven't had one of these free days. But rest assured, my interest is still very high. I still really like you. I still really want you. I still really want this relationship, but I've just been so busy. I haven't had the time to think, to sit down, to even breathe. I can't even, you'll be shocked. I can't even really breathe these days because I just have so little time. But my interest is there. Don't you worry. I think you're the most sweetest, amazing, awesome, beautiful, gorgeous woman in all the land. But I just want you to know, and I care about you so much, but I just wish I had just an ounce of free time. That's the only reason I haven't been messaging you. It's a bold-faced lie, okay? I'm not saying that men don't get busy, okay? I would never lie like that. But what I am saying is when you notice a significant drop-off from what you're used to getting from that man, and then all of a sudden, you're seeming to get nothing from that man anymore. And his excuse is, yeah, I'm just become busy all of a sudden. And it's a vague type of busy with, vague work things and vague life things and vague everything. This is a lie that's meant to cover up the truth, which is that actually his interest has gone down for you. Now, this is painful to hear because now you're starting to think, oh, so you're telling me the guy that I like actually doesn't like me. You're telling me the guy that I'm interested in and want to date actually doesn't want to date me. Thomasin, you're disappointing me. Don't tell me things like that. You're supposed to give me hope. But here's the thing. You have to understand this, that when men's interest in you goes down, they don't want to lose their opportunity to still have you as someone they could reach out to when they need something from. And when I say they need something, I mean, wank themselves off. They want to dirty talk with you, they want you there. They want to jackrabbit themselves inside of you, they want you there. They want a shoulder to lean on and cry on and to call you and just to vent about stuff, they want you there. So a lot of times what men are going to do is they're going to lie about the amount of free time they have. They're going to tell you they're super busy, which is the reason that they can't reach you or talk to you at these points, or they can't answer your calls, because they don't want to just be honest with you that their interest in you has gone down for whatever reason. And I don't even want you to think that, oh, his interest in you went down because you did something. It doesn't even necessarily have to be because you did something wrong. Sometimes men have ulterior motives, other things going on. They have exes, they have just anything that could happen in their life external that could be the reason they have lost some interest in you. It's not representative of you, the person. But what I want you to understand is men would rather lie to you about having no free time and still being interested than just be honest with you that they're losing interest in you. You want to know why? Because if they just are honest with you that they're losing interest in you, what are you more likely to do? You're more likely to say, oh, so you're making it clear to me that this is a waste of my time. You're making it clear to me that you basically don't really want this relationship or want this at all. And so if I continue to invest myself in you, I'm literally acknowledging how much time I'm wasting, right? See, you'll notice something, and we're actually going to get to this in our next point, but you'll notice something really, really funny and interesting about not saying anything and leaving it up to you to guess what he wants or what he thinks. That's actually the whole reason why we have this show, because I'm trying to provide you with clarity. Because when you're confused about what he wants or what he thinks, or you're just not sure, you get to gaslight yourself into believing what makes you feel good. But if he simply comes out and tells you he has little interest in you and he has little interest in building this relationship with you, well, now you know for sure. And now it's on you to respond or react to him telling you that he has little interest in you by actually walking away from this relationship or investing yourself in someone else, right? But guys don't want to lose out on their opportunity to have access to you. Guys don't want to lose out on their ability to have you at their beck and call and turn you into like DoorDash, okay? They don't want to lose that. And so instead of losing you or losing out on their opportunity to get access to you, instead, what they do is they tell you everything's good. I've just, haven't been free lately. I just been so busy lately that I haven't had time to really contact you or show you any of that interest. Okay? So let's hop into our next point here. Does that make sense to you guys so far? All right. So let's hop into our next point here. Okay? I hope I'm making sense to you all so far. All right? So number 3 is confusion. One of the things that men will love to bamboozle you with is the idea that, oh, I have just been super confused on the status of our relationship. I've been so confused. In fact, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what you want. I don't know what this is. I don't know where we're going. And because I'm confused, oh, I accidentally slept with another girl. Oh, I wish you would have told me that we were exclusive. I'm so ashamed. I wish you would have told me that we're actually building something here. If you would have told me, then I would have known not to put myself inside of that other girl and jackrabbit myself inside her. Guys love to lie about confusion. It's great. Because behind confusion, they can scream ignorance to things, right? They can play dumb. Confusion is great when he knows he wants to string this along, right? And not actually provide you with clarity that you would actually know it's time for you to walk away. The longer you're confused, the longer you can gaslight yourself into believing what you want to believe. So let's put together a visual here that's pretty funny. All right. So let's imagine I have a fridge, a big old fridge, right? And in my fridge is sitting this nice round piece of chocolate cake. All right. So there's a piece of chocolate cake sitting on a plate in my fridge, right? So my fridge got a nice big piece of chocolate cake. Now, you're over here, okay? You got you over here, put you, and you've got your friend over here. So let's imagine your friend, right? You go off and you're over here somewhere playing video games, hand in your pants, watching pineapple videos. You're off somewhere doing something in your room. And your friend comes along and your friend goes into the fridge and your friend sees that piece of chocolate cake inside of the fridge. Now, you and your friend, let's say you and your friend are, we'll say you guys are roommates. And because you're roommates, obviously, it's only the two of you living there. Meaning if your friend, let's even put this here so you guys can know clearly. If your roommate goes in the fridge and sees something in that fridge that she didn't put in there, she knows it came from you, okay? It's not rocket science. But here's the really interesting thing. Let's just say for the sake of argument that both of you, because you've had issues in the past with food and not knowing which food is whose and not knowing what's supposed to go where, let's just say for the sake of argument, the two of you have come up with a plan, a course of action that the both of you will always be labeling your food to separate it. You got your eggs and your roommate's got her eggs, okay? You've got your pineapples and your roommate's got her pineapples. Both of you have now built a system where you separate your foods, you label it, that way no one's confused whose thing is whose. But let's say this time you brought this chocolate cake back from the Cheesecake Factory and you just forgot to label it for whatever reason, so you just threw it in the fridge because you were tired. Now your roommate, let's just say, loves chocolate cake. Your roommate loves chocolate cake. Chocolate cakes are absolute favorite, okay? And so she sees that chocolate cake, it's looking so decadent, looking so good, looking so juicy sitting there, and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is sitting here and I want this piece of chocolate cake, but I know if I ask her to have this chocolate cake, she's gonna say no. Because she probably saved it and she's waiting to eat it later, but this looks so good and I'm so hungry and I don't feel like getting Uber Eats and I want to eat this right now. And so your roommate looks at that piece of chocolate cake and says, it don't have no label on it. So I think I can eat it. I'm gonna eat it. And so what does your roommate do? Your roommate devours that piece of chocolate cake. That chocolate cake gone now. She eats that, she licks the plate, okay? She licks that plate clean, all right? Eats that chocolate cake and hides the evidence. Chocolate cake is gonzo. You come back to the fridge looking for your chocolate cake and you see it's not there. You then go to your roommate, because it's only the two of you living in that house. You then go to your roommate and you say, okay, roommate, please explain to me, where did my chocolate cake go that I left and I saved in the fridge? And your roommate says, oh, that chocolate cake? I didn't know that was yours. I thought maybe, because remember, your friend came over the other day before you guys went out, and I thought when she came back, she left it here for, just because she forgot it. And I thought your friend literally forgot that piece of cake here. And I thought that was hers. If it was yours, you should have labeled it. Oh my God. If I would have known, I would have not eaten your piece of chocolate cake. Why didn't you label the cake? And you're sitting there like, is this a joke? You didn't know that was, why didn't you ask me if that was my piece of cake? It's only me and you here. I just assumed because when I saw you guys come back, I saw her with the plate, so I thought that was her cake from the time that she came back, so that's why I just ate it, and I thought that you were asleep, so I didn't want. And this is the problem. Okay? And I'm going to connect this back to your relationships and the guys that you're with and why they lie about confusion. Because see, when you can claim ignorance, when you can claim, oh, I didn't know, right? It does two things simultaneously. One, they get to escape accountability, right? Having to apologize or be honest about the fact that, hey, I did this thing simply because I wanted to do that thing. And they don't have to take accountability for it. What they also simultaneously get to do is they get to make themselves look like a sympathetic figure that wants the same thing as you, that has the same intentions as you, while, now, and because of this external source, which is the confusion, right? This external source, which is confusion, has led me to go astray from what I know we both want. Right? And the men in your relationships do the same thing. They lie about being confused on what the status of the relationship is, or what you guys are doing here, or where you're supposed to be going, or how this is supposed to work, because they want to be able to claim, well, when I slept with this girl, or started talking to that girl, or went out to the club and started grinding on this girl, I thought we weren't doing a thing where we're actually an exclusive thing. I thought we were more of a thing where when I see you, we have fun, but it's not really like a me and you type of thing. It's more of like a me and you when we're only in the house together, just, sitting down watching Netflix type of thing. And this is the thing that guys will do and guys will lie about often, because they don't want to actually provide you with clarity and provide you with a clear understanding of what they think, what they want, and what they desire in this relationship. If they tell you exactly what they're actually feeling, that will make it very easy for you to respond to them based on where you know the relationship to be existing currently. Right? What I mean by that is, if you know where you stand with the guy, you know what he thinks of you, and you know what he wants to do with you in this relationship, it makes it very easy to act on what he feels, or what he says he feels or desires of this relationship. Because if he says he doesn't want you, he has very little interest in you, and he just wants to sleep with you, well, then he's made it very easy for you to just walk away. But if he pretends to be confused and he pretends to say, oh, I want the same thing as you, right? I didn't know that wasn't your piece of chocolate cake. I ate it because it had no label. I was confused. Why did you lead? We're both confused here. Now he can make it seem like we're on the same page, but I just didn't know. So you think he's a good guy. He gets to look like a good guy, and he doesn't even have to take accountability for anything that he's just done. Really, really, really slick. Okay? So one of the things that you have to do when guys try to claim confusion, right, in order to kind of battle against this, you have to be making sure that with the guys you're dating, you don't allow space for confusion. And anytime you find yourself in a relationship with a guy where you're confused on where things stand, or you feel like he's not providing you with clarity, you walk away from those men. Because men should on an ongoing basis be providing you with clarity on how they feel, what they want, and what they are trying to get to in this relationship. And they should be acting on those words as well. So if you're confused, it's because he's either not providing you with clarity, and he's not simultaneously not acting on what he's supposed to be, the clarity he's supposed to be providing you with, okay? Does that make sense to all of you? Before we hop into number 4. Okay. By the way, for those of you who are just joining us or just joined us halfway through, all of these points are available on my YouTube channel. Just go right on the top right corner of the screen where it says my name, Tomisin Atobatele, and you can type it in on YouTube because I'm live there at the same time, and then you can watch the entire show there and rewind it and all that good stuff. Okay. So number 4. Men tend to lie about their intentions, okay? Now, the reason that they tend to lie about their intentions is quite simple. They don't want you to know the truth about what they actually intend to do. Because if you were to learn the truth about what his actual intentions are, then you would be clued into the fact that you probably don't want to be spending your time with him. Okay? Intentions make it very easy to know if you're wasting time or if you're actually using this time properly, because this is actually meant to go somewhere. Okay? Someone said go deeper. Don't you worry. We're going to go very deep right now. All right? So let me give you a little bit of an analogy so you can understand why lying about intentions to confuse you is so great for the guys and why they and how they kind of use this tactic in theory. Okay? So let's say you are someone who is, let's just say you're on a regular day, you're broke. Okay? You are broke, okay? God forbid. But let's just say for the sake of example, you are broke. Now, let's say in this scenario, your friend comes over to your house, right? And you're living the broke lifestyle. Your friend comes over to your house, and one day she is rummaging through your garage, okay? And you guys are just doing a thing. You're doing a little bit of spring cleaning. And as she's rummaging through your garage, she sees like this box titled like grandmother or something like that, right? Or mom 1972, let's just say. And when she's rummaging through this garage, she finds a box titled mom's 1972. And she opens this really old like box type of thing, okay? It's like so dusty. And when she opens it up, it's like a Chanel bag. And she's looking at it like, oh my God, what is this? And you're just like, oh, this is just some like old box of stuff that my mom used to have. It's just been sitting here for so long. She never uses it. And I just want to get rid of it, throw it out, right? And let's say your friend is like, are you crazy? This is a vintage Chanel bag. This is an original 1972. When did Chanel get made? This is an original 1972 patent leather with the lacing and the stitching and this and that. You do realize all this needs is a little bit of a shining. Yeah, it's a little bit dusty. But you want to know what the resale value of this bag is? This is vintage Chanel. This is the original. I don't know. How do they title them? I don't know. Okay. The original one. All right. One of the original ones. Right. And the value of this bag is $20,000. You have $20K sitting in your house right now. And you're like, no way that old dusty bag is worth $20K. She's like, I swear to God. I swear to God. I literally, you know me, I'm a fashionista. I do some bag reselling and stuff like that. I know this for a fact. This bag is worth $20K for a fact. All you got to do is shine it up a little bit. And I know a guy that does, he does shining for bags to make them look brand new again. All you need is a little shine on this leather. Easy, you can get $20K. And I know the exact person that will buy this from you. If you let me sell it for you, this is a good friend of yours. If you let me sell this bag for you, I'll only take 2,000. I'm going to give you the rest of the 18. I promise you, you can get 20,000 for this bag. And you're like, oh my God. And this is your best friend, so you trust her, right? And so she goes and she is going to go sell off this bag. Remember, you're broke, right? So this is really, really good for you. Really, really good, right? This is an amazing time for you. And so you're walking around town and you're like, oh, I feel good today. This is a good time. I'm about to get me a cool 20K that was sitting inside my little box in my garage. This is amazing. So you're walking and life is good. Like life is good when you got an extra 20K, right? And you're walking and you go to the store, right? You're just kind of shopping, looking at stuff, and you're thinking to yourself, damn, you know, I was a broke girl, but I ain't no brokey no more. Shout out to Lotto. I ain't no brokey no more. You know what? I'm about to get me a smooth $20,000. I see this little couple of this dress over here is a slight little 200. Slight little 200, nothing for a big girl like me. I'm the big one, tight-ish. So I'll get me a little, a little dressy that I seen for a slight 200, right? Then you go to the next spot, right? And you're like, I've been really, really craving lobster. That's light for me. I could go get lobster. You know what? Let me invite my girlfriend, okay? My other girlfriend. I'm gonna come, we gonna eat some lobster because I've really been craving seafood. I've been wanting me a little seafood boil. That's another 150, but it's okay. I got the big one, that big 20K coming to me, right? And you go to another store, and you go to another store, and you go to another store, right? And all of a sudden, you spent so much money, okay, right, on these bags. Let's even count this up, okay? So 5, 7, okay, 850. You spent 850 in one day going to all these stores and shopping and doing this and doing that because you know that smooth 20K coming to you is coming to you hard and it's coming to you fast. Then you get a phone call from your girlfriend a week later. And she says, girl, I've got some bad news for you. I had to be honest with you. Yeah, the bag that you thought was going to be 20K that you were going to get back, I actually, when I was going to resell it, they told me that there's a little bit of inconsistency with the stitching and they can't verify if it's an authentic vintage Chanel 1. They're not saying it's fake, but they're just saying they can't really authenticate it. And so they can't guarantee that they'll pay the 20,000 for it because they need to know for sure that they can resell that. And you're thinking, oh my God, I just spent $850. I just spent $850 in one day and I'm already broke. What am I supposed to do now? And now you're in credit card debt, wondering how you're going to pay it off because you spent money that you really didn't have. But in your mind, you were thinking to yourself, oh, I'm spending this money because I'm about to get me a smooth 20K. So let's all connect this back to your relationships and the guys that you're with, all right? This is the thing and why men lie about intentions. The reason that they end up lying about intentions is because they say to themselves, if I make you feel like your money is coming to you, right? If I make you feel like you're about to be my wife and my girlfriend, it's a great way to get you to act on the fact that you feel something is coming to you in this relationship based on promises that you feel sure of. And when you do that, I will get now from you what I should be getting years from now from you, right? Because I've invested years of my life into you. But instead, you will act on what you feel is going to happen now. Meaning you'll treat me like I'm your husband, cater to me like I'm your husband, cook and clean for me like I'm your husband, get on your knees and slurp me off like I'm your husband. But in reality, while you're spending your $850, you don't actually have $20,000 sitting in your bank account. You're just of the belief that $20,000 is coming to you, right? You're just of the belief that I'm going to be his wife and the mother of his children because he said so or because he made me feel like it's about to happen. But it's not actually happening right now. You don't actually have $20,000 in your bank account right now, but you're going around the mall and spending your money as if that is coming to you. So this is what I want you to understand and why the men end up lying about their intentions. They don't want you to act on the relationship as it currently exists, because currently you're not his girlfriend. Currently you're nothing to him. In fact, currently you're just friends with benefits. But he doesn't want you to act on the relationship as if you're friends with benefits. That would mean he doesn't get investment from you. That would mean you don't stay over and clean his whole entire apartment and cook for him and massage his feet and do all these other things that you wouldn't regularly do for any random stranger or any random guy who you met on Hinge. He gets that special treatment from you while not actually putting you in a special or unique position. Because 2, 3, 4 weeks from now, or 3 months, which is usually like the magic thing where things go wrong, he then says, oh, by the way, so glad you've been spending all your money. So glad you've been investing in me and treating me like a husband, but I'm just here to let you know that 20K is not coming to you. I'm not actually going to be your boyfriend. We're not actually going to be together. In fact, actually, I found a new girl and she's amazing. I'm thinking about being with her instead. And you end up losing, okay? So we don't want that for you, which is why when you date men, you cannot allow them to sell you on the idea that, hey, I'm telling you right now, I really want us to be this. We are going to be that, me and you in a castle forever. We're going to live like a princess and a prince, and I'm going to take you off to a land far, far away, and it's all going to be so amazing. That's great. That's great that you say that. But I'm still going to wait for you to show me that. And I will not be doing anything for you until I see you act on what you said was going to happen on a consistent basis, right? You don't just let guys tell you it the one time and then believe that it's true because they tell you it the one time and do it the one time. You let guys tell you how amazing things are going to be. Cool. That's great. Show me that. And then in the process of showing me that, I want you to show me that for months and months and months, not just one day and not just 1 week. Because the guys are good at making you feel like everything is going well for 1 week. They're not so good at making you feel like everything is going well for 4 or 5 months. It's a lot harder. Okay, so you really have to be paying attention, right? When guys will conveniently lie about certain things or withhold certain pieces of information from you in order to put themselves in a position of power and put you in a position of confusion or misunderstanding. Okay, right? Never ever make that mistake. Now let's hop into number 5. And this is actually the most dangerous one. All right. So, what you're going to notice is there are a lot of men that will lie about being content. So, what I mean by lie about being content is you're going to notice some guys that you date, and let me know in the chat if this has ever happened to you, where you were dating a guy and you were completely sure that you never argued with this guy. You actually were thinking to yourself, damn, me and him get along so well. We don't argue about nothing. He doesn't even raise his voice. We don't even have a disagreement. And you were thinking to yourself, wow, this relationship is going really, really, really good. We don't even ever have to, I used to be arguing with my old boyfriend and my ex, but this guy, we don't argue at all. In fact, we literally never argue, not even a single misalignment whatsoever. Here's the problem though. A lot of men do this. They lie about being content. From the standpoint of when something is actually bothering them, they don't actually address the fact that it's bothering them and you don't know. So let's kind of break this down in a little bit of a visual for you, okay? Very simple visual. So when a guy seems happy, right? And he's all content, he's at peace, he's happy in this relationship because you guys never disagree. What do? You do nothing, right? Because there's nothing to do. We're happy, we're content, we're all feeling good, nothing to talk about. You might address your issues, but he's always in agreement with you. He's like, yeah, baby, you're perfectly right. Yeah, I totally agree with you. This is so awesome. You're so awesome. We're so awesome. So there's nothing for you to address on his part about how he feels because he doesn't address anything. He doesn't disagree with anything. And see, this is the dangerous part about that. Because if you were to know that he was actually sad about the situation, you would then do something. You would then act on that or have a conversation with him or, deal with the situation or the disagreement and actually try and solve the problem, right? Because you want your man to be happy. But here's the thing. See, guys tend to lie about their happiness because either one, they don't want to be problematic and bring it up, okay? Or number two, they just feel uncomfortable having tough conversations. Either way, this is a character flaw because what's going to end up happening, all of this fakeness where, oh yeah, we're getting along so well and I never disagree with you and I think you're amazing, I think you're awesome, is fake. Because the reality of it is we all grow up with different points of views, different ways of seeing things, and there's no possible way, right, that two individuals that grew up with different parents, right, I hope you did, right, unless you live in Alabama, that grew up with different parents would ever be agreeing on absolutely everything in life. Okay, it's just not possible, right? And the thing about it is when men hide this, you're unaware of the fact that he actually is suffering from discontent or unhappiness, or in some cases, misery. And because you're unaware of that, you do nothing. And because you do nothing, that sadness continues to build, right? If we have a graph here, over the course of days, that sadness that he once felt at the beginning, it builds and it builds and it builds and it builds until it shoots up to a terminal level or a terminal velocity at however you want to think of it, right? And eventually it gets to the point where all of a sudden he blows up on you for something super small that you're thinking, wait, what's the issue here? And then in the process of him blowing up on you for something super small, he then brings up something that happened 4 years ago. And you're like, wait, what are you talking about? Don't you remember when you called me the B word 4 years ago when we were going out to dinner together and we were going to meet Rosie and Donald? And you're like, what? 4 years ago? I don't even remember that. What did we do? You don't remember that? When you were eating the steak and you got the medium rare and I got the rare and then you said I look stupid and I'm a dumb little B word? And you're like, what? And that's the problem. Because the guys, they lie about the content, either because they want to keep the peace, right? Or because they're too uncomfortable talking about their feelings, that they just don't want to share with you how they really feel. But then you don't end up getting any real information on what's going on in the relationship. And like Reese said, he's holding grudges, right? And you are the one that ends up suffering because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he wants to break up or he wants to end the relationship with you because of issues that you didn't even know that he had. That's a very scary one, okay? And if it's ever happened to you, then you know how scary it can be and how blindsiding it can be. So when you are with guys and you're in relationships with guys, I know this is going to sound horrible, but what I want you to do is I never want you to be satisfied with feeling like everything is perfectly fine, okay? Now, here's something very important I want you to realize. When you start, there are natural ebbs and flows, which means peaks and valleys to relationships. When you have discussions with someone, you're going to have tough discussions with them. Do not allow your relationships with men to keep you in a la land magical state where everything is like a fantasy. I know when you're with a guy, you want to be happy, you want to feel good, you want to laugh, you want to giggle, you want to have fun and enjoy yourself. You should do that. But what you also need to make sure you do with your men in your relationships is have tough conversations. And tough conversations are always going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. They're going to rub you the wrong way. They might put you in pain. They might put him in pain. They might rub him the wrong way as well. But those tough conversations are always what will allow both of you to be on the same page because you both are at an understanding of what you want, what you've been through, what you're feeling, and what you're thinking. When both of you are at an understanding of what is going on in the relationship on a mental level and on a spiritual level, then you guys can be aligned and move towards a shared goal, which is continuing this long-term relationship. When one or both of you are misaligned or unsure what the other one is actually feeling or thinking, that's when we get all this jumbled up mess, and the confusion can create a lot more distance, which can create even more confusion. And then all of a sudden you're married to a man who you literally despise that sleeps in a different room than you. Okay? We don't want that for you. So that is one of the things that men definitely lie about often that you should be looking out for. So do you guys have any questions about what we just discussed today? Number 1 was intensity. Number 2, free time. Number 3, confusion. Number 4, intentions. And number 5, content. All right. Someone says, did anyone write them down? They're all available on my YouTube page. It's just at the top right corner of the screen there. Tomisin Atobatele. You just type it in on YouTube, and then you go on my YouTube page, and you'll be able to see all of the points that I talked about here today, okay? Crystal says, this is true of friendships too. I recently ghosted a longtime friend because she didn't want to have difficult conversations. I agree. Difficult conversations are mandatory to have in any situation that you're going to be in your relationships, right? Because you really have to know what people think and feel about you, towards you, and towards their relationship or friendship with you. If you don't have those tough conversations and people aren't honest with you, what's going to happen is those feelings will build up, and those feelings still exist. And one day they'll just say how they feel, and you'll be shocked. Okay. You should never be in a position where someone that you consider to be close to you is telling you things that you never knew that they felt for years. Okay. You don't want to be in a position like that. Always have tough conversations. And those people who are friends of yours or partners of yours that try to avoid that, you should avoid them. Because what's only going to happen is your relationship with them is going to fall apart after a while, okay? Does that make sense? Lauren says, what if they tell you a harsh truth and just hurt your feelings instead? There's a balance there, right? So when people are telling you how they feel, there is a time and place to be brutally honest. But if that person is your partner and you care about them, delivery also matters. Now, however, when having a tough conversation, it's more important to be honest than to be worried about how you deliver it. So when you're having one of those moments where a tough conversation is necessary, you need to make you need to create an environment, and your man should be doing this as well, to be creating an environment for both of you where you're saying to each other, this is the time for honesty, not the time for make me feel good about it or sugarcoat it for me, okay? And when you're building a healthy relationship, there should be a clear distinction between, hey, now this time that we're having now, let's have a real talk, okay? So when you deliver this message to me, deliver it exactly how you feel about it. Don't deliver it to me with your filter after you think about how it's going to make me feel and this and that, because I need clarity on how you really feel. That way we can be at an understanding, okay? In your relationship, what you're going to realize is throughout the ebbs and flows, there's going to come points and times in your relationship where you need that extreme clarity and not the sugar-coating filtered conversation from them, okay? But there needs to be a process of both of you understanding there are time and places for both of those things. And when it is time for the absolute real clarity, both of you actually give the real honest truth of how you feel, okay? Best Blue says some guys even lie in the real conversation. It's true. It's true. Some guys even lie in the real conversation. That's why I always advise you that when you're being a good listener or when you're getting someone to talk, right, you build that habit from the very beginning, but also you don't fall into a cycle of punishing men for telling you the truth or telling you about how they really feel or what they really think. I know sometimes it's hard because sometimes guys will tell you stuff that icks you out or makes you feel really weird, or you're just like, damn, I don't like that. But you also have to understand, especially at the beginning, you don't want to build the habit of, making them feel uncomfortable with sharing because you're judging them, right? You almost want to approach it from such a non-judgmental standpoint that they almost feel like you agree with them, that they continue sharing with you, because then you get more and more information, and then you get to use that information to your advantage, right? Because you actually know now, all right? So let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into our second segment of the day, which is going to be our React segment. Spam up your camera emojis, spam up your headphone emojis and your baby oil emojis. And we're going to hop right into our React segment of the day. I'm going to clean up a little bit. And while I clean up, we're going to watch a little bit of an intermission video here. This video here comes from Matthew Hussey. And we're going to watch this together while I clean up. And then I'm going to be back all good for you guys, and we're gonna start our React segment, okay? Matthew Hussey, take it away for these beautiful people.
Three things
here,
that you can do on a date that make it much more likely that that date turns into another date. The idea for this came from someone I recently coached who came to me and said, I had a very difficult marriage. It has left me very guarded after the divorce. I had to become independent. I had to become my own person. And now when I date, I get told a lot that I am scary, that I am intimidating, and it doesn't seem to go anywhere. What's going on? Anyone out there who has been hurt a lot will naturally be on guard when they're dating again. We are looking for red flags. We're looking for warning signs that someone has an agenda, an ulterior motive, that they are going to hurt us. And when we go into a date with that energy, it can come across as a very strong energy. It can come across as an energy that says, I don't need anyone. It can come across as a lack of vulnerability. Now, people use all sorts of words when they feel these things from us. You're a little scary, you're a little intimidating, I don't know how I'd ever feel needed by you. But what it really comes down to is they're seeing one side of us and they're not seeing the other side of us that they may need to see to truly feel like there is that polarity that they're looking for. And polarity is often associated with lots and lots of language around masculine and feminine. Whenever a woman says, I feel like I intimidate guys, the go-to is, well, you need to be in your feminine. I don't know that it's entirely wrong. I end up getting a little bit bored and frankly confused by the language around these things. And it ends up becoming a kind of obsession with masculine and feminine, and one that I don't find all that interesting. To me, dates need polarity. People need polarity, especially in romantic situations. We need to know that we both are, not all the time, but sometimes in an energy that is attractive to the other person. And I don't think we need to be that energy all the time. I think it's just we need to be that energy enough that someone sees that they have that magnetism in that way with you some of the time. Let's take this woman that came to me. She would show up on a date very guarded. She'd almost show up with that kind of boss-like energy, independent, done a lot in her life, taken care of a lot in her life. And I believe that it was stopping the person on the date from really getting to know the real her. So I'm going to tell you 3 things that I told her that if you find that you're guarded and it makes you cover up other parts of yourselves, the softer, more sensitive, more playful, more fun part of yourself, the more affectionate part of yourself, then I think these are really going to help you. Number 1, lead with your most beautiful energy. Now, you get to decide what your most beautiful energy is, but imagine yourself around the people that you're most comfortable with. Imagine yourself if you were bringing out your core and what that core is really like, whether it's a very affectionate person, very sweet person, a very playful person, a person who laughs a lot, a person who is very smiley, a person who's very curious, very interested. Bring that person forward first. Now, many people struggle to do that because they've been hurt before. So they show up to a date with their guard up because they're trying to protect themselves and they don't want to get hurt again. What we have to do is flip our normal way of doing things. Instead of bringing the version of us that is guarded and in control all
Thanks. All right. Let me open up our window here. And we're going to do this right. All right. Let me go down to my profile. We got some things to react to. Someone said baby all the time. We got some things to react to here. All right, let's start off with our first one of the day.
If I look at my partner and I wouldn't want to be them, if I wouldn't want to be just like them, then like I probably shouldn't be with them. Like you should kind of really only be spending that amount of time and putting that much love and connection and vulnerability into a person if like, you know, if you would be okay becoming them as a result.
Yeah.
You know?
You're preaching right now.
If I look at my partner and I wouldn't want to be them, if I wouldn't want to be just like them, then like I probably shouldn't be with them. Like you should kind of really only be spending that amount of time and putting
I think what she's trying to say is certain aspects of your partner's personality should inspire you to be a better version of yourself. Are you following me? And the way that they carry themselves or go about life or their character traits or things like that should make you feel like, damn, I noticed that you are so kind and so generous. I noticed that you, go out of your way for people. I noticed that you, are, give so giving, whatever it may be. And as you notice that, you start to say to yourself, damn, I want to be more like that. I want to take and learn a little bit from who you are and how you carry yourself and put that in my own life, right? And add that to my own personality or my bag of tricks, right? I think that's what she's trying to say in a kind of different format.
Here are 3 short texts to get his attention. Did you know that the average text message length is only 7 words? Now I want you to look at your recent text chain with a guy you're talking to. You're writing novels, aren't you? So let's chop that down a little bit and use these 3 short texts that are guaranteed to get a guy's attention. The first one is texting him, "You're trouble." This is a flirty way of telling him that you're attracted to him and you're interested in him while maintaining the tension in the connection. Trouble, it's both a good thing and a bad thing. The second one is texting him, "If you were only here." A way of telling him that you're attracted to him and you're interested in him while maintaining the tension needed to get a guy's attention. The first one is texting him, "You're trouble." This is a flirty way of telling him that you're attracted to him and you're interested in him while maintaining the tension in the connection. Trouble, it's both a good thing and a bad thing. The second one is texting him, "If you were only here right now, ...
One of the things I don't like about certain videos like this is I get that the guys, some of the guys are trying to help. Okay, I'm trying to help too. I'm not saying they're bad people for trying to help, but sometimes they're not able to like pull themselves out of their just own man perspective, and then the advice that they end up giving you is just like the advice that only really benefits the men, in the sense that like he's telling you 3 short texts to get his attention. All he's giving you is text to get him horned up. So what he should have said is 3 texts to get him horned up and get him to start wanking himself. But how does that really actually serve you? Like, because you're not getting his attention, so to speak. Like, you're really just getting him horned up for the moment, or thinking that you guys are about to sleep together. But like in terms of actually having his attention, where he'll be thinking, damn, I want to call her, I want to spend time with her, I want to see that girl, it's not really good. That's not really what's going to happen. He hasn't even finished, but I'm sure the rest will be just like that. ...
Damn, he's going to be thinking to himself, I wonder what would happen if I were there right now. And
that's wank material. He's giving you wank advice to be to help his...
Third text to send him is, "I have a confession, ... Now I love this one because it builds a little bit of suspense. And when he does respond, keep him waiting a little bit longer, allow that mystery to ruminate, and then deliver something like...
That's the first decent one, but see, he's made all the rest of them pineapple related, or sexual, and now I feel like the reason he's saying it is just to, whatever.
Ruminate, and then deliver it with something like, "I think you're sexy," or "I wish you were..."
Chat, don't send me videos like this. Don't send me videos like this. I just finished saying, I was like, that was the one decent one, but as long as you don't make it sexual, and he immediately makes it sexual. This is horrible advice.
I think you're sexy, or I wish that mystery to ruminate and then deliver it with something like, I think you're sexy, or I wish you were next to me. Oh my God, that is going to get his attention.
I think so. You know how for the girls you guys have Wattpad. I think for the guys, it's either too much. They're watching like really in-depth pineapple movies, or I think like the romance scene in movies just takes over their mind, where they start to think like, oh, like this is like what real relationships are like. All of the stuff he said is like straight out of like a corn movie. I just don't understand like. This is not going to get you the type of attention that you want out of men that will sustain over the course of time. And I don't even know why he's giving you this advice. Maybe he's giving you this advice because like in his own mind, he'd be wanking off to a girl telling him this stuff. And he's giving you that advice thinking, damn, if a girl told me this, I'd be wanking all night. But like wank advice is not going to help you get to where you need to go. So pretty useless. Thanks though.
Is how to get a man to respect you when he's playing games. As a man and as a woman, you're supposed to stand on your morals and be a good person. And I'm going to show you how I always win and how anybody can win. Listen, say for instance you meet a guy and he flaked on you. He ghosted you, whatever it is. You went out your way to give him your time. And now he's disrespecting you and your time. Absolutely not.
Chat, over or under, he's from New York or Boston?
Absolutely not. Say, for instance, he hits you up a day later, 2 days later. You ignore the motherfucker. Say, for instance, he tries to hit you up again. Hey, what's up? You ignore the motherfucker. Say, for instance, a week later, he comes back and he says, listen, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do this. Can I take you out? I'll do anything. Now we're talking. Okay, so what are you going to do? Prove it to me. All right? I don't want to hear the talk. I went out my way to give you my time and you disrespected me. You want to play with me and my time? It's over. Because just as much as you see my value, other guys do too. It's how to get a man.
Okay, but don't say any of that. I hope it's just a short video, so I hope he just means like he's just talking to you. But like, don't say any of that. Don't give a whole speech. My value is this, and I deserve respect, and all the guy. Don't say that stuff. Okay. If a guy comes back and you actually want him to respect you, you let him do his whole spiel, do his whole boombox moment. Oh my God, I'm going to change this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Right. First of all, let's see if he has any sort of course of action towards how things are going to change. Because if he doesn't, don't even bother wasting your time. If he comes with this course of action, just say, okay. And then you just observe and see if he'll do it. Okay. Don't do a whole speech. Do not do a whole speech. Okay. Don't do a whole speech about your value and how he mistreated you and this. Don't do that. Okay, it's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your breath, and it doesn't help you get to where you need to go. Okay, just you gotta understand. Silence is so powerful, and allowing people to do what they were gonna do is way more powerful. You get to observe, and you get to see what people are what their actual intentions are. No big long speeches and paragraphs or none of that.
What men notice first in females? First is your size, height, and weight. Then number 2 is the face card. Men, a lot of the times, are all about the face card. Some people go for just the body, but at the end of the day, they need to be a little bit attractive.
I would actually say, for me at least, maybe I'm different. I would actually say I go face first. Because I be analyzing the face structure. So I want to see the symmetry. Then I go to teeth. So I go face first. I go face symmetry. I go teeth. Then maybe I'll check jawline as kind of face symmetry. Then I look at the body.
And then number 3, a lot of people said style. So even if they don't have good style, they appreciate you if you do. And number 4, your scent. If you don't have a go-to scent or a signature scent, find one because you need one. Number 5 is your imperfections. That could be like a mole or a dash on your face, whatever it is. Attractive. And then number 3, a lot of people said style. So even if they don't
I go style 3.
Have good style,
I go style 3.
Appreciate you if you do. And number 4, your scent. If you don't have a go-to scent or a signature scent, find one because you need one. Number 5 is your imperfection.
Scent not as high up on there for me. If we were gonna say teeth is not part of face, then teeth would bump everything down, because teeth is like number 2 for me. But scent, I mean, take it or leave it. If you're out, it's hard to really smell someone's scent.
That could be like a mole or a dash on your face, whatever it is. They still notice it and they do love it. So don't cover them up. 6 is your personality. Now, we should all have a good personality, but if guys just want to hook up with you, they really don't give a shit. But if they do and they want to pursue you, they care.
I mean, if we're talking about the first things you notice of someone without actually talking to them or meeting them, then obviously you can't notice their personality. But when you meet someone, that personality takes into account everything that you've been seeing of them. So I guess in this order, it would be last. Okay, yeah, smell not that high up on the list for me. I go face symmetry, then face structure / symmetry. Then I go teeth. Teeth is super important. If you, sorry, I can't unsee teeth. Okay, the whole mouth thing. Your tongue's white. We have problems. Then the rest of the stuff kind of comes after, and it kind of dwindles down in importance after that. All right, let's go to our next one.
Hi,
I'm Marta.
and I'm Stuart.
We've been a couple for a long time.
Kiss me, I must be dreaming. Kiss me. You would never kiss me in real life, so this must be a dream.
Pitch me, wake up. I feel like I'm in a nightmare.
We've been together since the beginning of time. I remember meeting her. I was a celestial body and she was stardust, and we molded together into a beautiful cosmic entity.
Who sent this to me?
It was meant to be. That's what you always tell me.
It was meant to be, and it is. Please let me sleep in the bed tonight. I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
I love
Please,
him
please,
so
please,
much.
please, please.
No.
She has her boundaries, and I respect them. I have to.
I love Stuart like I like.
Holding hands.
I like Stuart
to
so much.
create
I
space
almost
between your
consider
fingers.
him a boyfriend.
Almost. Oh, you said almost.
I don't want. Let's move on.
Well, here's a little trick for you ladies. With a real man, you never really have to ask. They just do. They will study you, and they just do. It's really that simple. Well, here's a little trick for you ladies.
So inspirational. Thank you for the valuable information, sir. All right, let's go on to our next one.
If you and
Sure,
your man broke
sure.
up, right,
It's pretty straightforward.
and you went to see whether the grass is greener, do yourself a favor and walk the hell away. Don't ever look back. Don't give him another opportunity. Don't entertain his messages. Go no contact for life, because I promise you it's gonna work in your favor. He thinks that he can get better than what he's already got, but he won't. If anything, by not having any contact with you, he will realize that the void cannot be filled. He will understand that no one comes near to you. He hasn't worked on his own traumas and his own issues, so any problems he's got within himself right now will be trauma dumped onto the next woman, and he's going to suffer from the same thing again and again until he learns that he needs to heal himself. Whereas you're going to handle the breakup right now, you're going to work through it, you're going to overcome it, and then he's going to look back and realize.
Chat, stop trying to. You guys know I can see your comments right behind my camera. I feel like sometimes you guys be trying to make me laugh while I'm watching a serious video, and it's annoying. Stop it.
There's no way he can ever get you again because he lost the one opportunity that he had. He is stupid because he's going to invest all his time and energy into seeing new people when he could have invested that energy into working through things with someone that genuinely loved him. He's not going to realize what genuine love actually is till he gets the opportunity to lose you and never get you again. Anytime he's with someone new, he's going to compare her to you. He's going to always be thinking of you in the back of his head. He's going to think whether she can live up to the standards that you set, and he's just going to be devastated because he knows he lost something so special for the sake of lusting and for the sake of external validation, and it's just going to be peak for him, whereas it's going to be a blessing for you. If you and your man broke up, right, and you went to see whether the grass is greener, do yourself a favor and walk the hell away. Don't ever look back. Don't give
Why
him
can't
another
I?
opportunity.
What the
Don't
hell is
entertain
going
his
on?
messages.
I can't pause.
Go no contact.
Sorry, there was a glitch happening. I couldn't pause it. But I think part of what she said here is true. But also, the going and coming back thing can be so tough because when a guy leaves, especially for what she said, for the grass being greener on the other side, you can also end up making a mistake by even entertaining him coming back into your life, because not all guys that leave should even deserve the opportunity to come back. You have to use discernment and understanding when that ship has sailed and when you actually should be entertaining the possibility of him even coming back into your life. Okay, not every time it's going to be the right guy for you.
If he chose somebody else, he did you a favor. He saved you a life of misery and pain.
Let's do another person just to keep variety.
Make them fucking beg. Make them fucking beg. Look at me. Make them fucking beg for your mother fucking attention. You understand me? Make them fucking beg. Don't give yourself so fucking freely. Work on your motherfucking self. Glow the fuck up. You understand what the fuck that means? Glow the fuck up. Get your shit straight. Get your shit right. That's right. They can't touch you anymore. They can't have you anymore. You watch them fucking beg. They suffer without the fucking control over you. Fantastic. Let them. Good. Your focus is on you.
Should I grow a beard, chat? Would that make me be more like, and then if I scream and yell, that it'll be as powerful as this? Should I grow a beard?
You're prioritizing you. Understood? Get fucking to it. Make them fucking beg. Make them fucking beg.
I agree with this partially. Like, here's the thing though. Also understand, like, people begging shouldn't get you so weak that you allow them to come back into your life and make the same mistake though. I know, like, she's just making a little inspirational video, but also understand there's a power and a process to understanding when to, cut your losses. So some people might come back into your life and beg, but that doesn't mean you take them back into your life simply because they're begging or simply because they're desperate to be in your life again. Okay. You also want to make sure that the situation or him being in your life or coming back into your life actually benefits you and will put you in a better position, not the same hamster wheel over and over again.
Look at me.
Quite a video.
You think you played her. You can't play a woman whose heart was pure from the start. You can't play a woman who wanted nothing but the best for you. You can't play a woman who loved you with her whole heart completely. You can't play a woman that saw more potential in you than you saw in your fucking self. You can't play a woman like that. You can't. You think you fucking played her, but you played your fucking self. You'll never find a woman like that again. Never. Never. Go and try to find a woman like that on social media.
Okay, I have to address something that is been on my mind. When you guys send me videos like this, the message is not always bad or anything like that. It's just a personal thing for me. Sometimes the format in which people do the video, I just don't understand it. So there's nothing wrong with sitting in your car and talking, but like, why can't we just sit in the car and talk to the camera? I don't like the whole thing where they'll pretend like they're on a fake podcast talking to someone off camera and no one's there. I just don't understand that format. I think maybe I'm not as an evolved content creator. When I make videos, I just talk to the camera because I'm talking to you, and then that's it. But whatever. I don't know. It's just whatever.
Media on dating apps. You will not find a woman like that again. She's rare. She was rare in this generation. She was like a fucking diamond. And you think...
But who is he talking to though? He's saying she was rare. You won't find a woman like that again. Is this supposed to go to the men?
You fucking played her. You played yourself. You played your fucking self. That's the only person you played. You fucking idiot! She didn't want you for the way you looked. She wanted you for your fucking soul. You fucking idiot!
Oh, is he talking to me or is he talking? I'm sorry, Chad. I just don't understand. I don't understand. Because he's yelling, but is he saying you played her? Is he talking to me? I'm a guy. So is he talking to me? But I feel like this video is for men. Why is he talking to me? I don't understand.
You played your fucking self!
Me?
It was never her loss. It was always yours. She's a loyal woman, a genuine woman.
Is he like, it's okay, wait, is this the POV of, he should have put POV, I'm your bro, telling you how you missed out on an amazing girl. Is that the POV, chat? Is that what this is meant to be? Like, cause, oh, like I'm in the passenger seat, POV, your bro's telling you how you missed out on that girl. I think that's the POV, right? He's talking to me.
It was your loss.
Oh, my loss.
You lost a person that would have been everything you ever fucking dreamed of.
My bad,
and
bro.
now you'll spend the rest of your days searching for that woman when you fucking had her and then you thought you played her. You played your motherfucking self!
Bro, I just wanted you to drop me off at Walmart, bro. Like I don't like how you be yelling at me, bro. I just want to get dropped off at Walmart. I thought we were going to Walmart.
You think you played her. You can't.
Let's go to our next one, please.
For all my ladies who are married or in relationships, go look at the picture of yourself when y'all first met and go look in a mirror at yourself now. And look at yourself and say, do I look the same? Do I look worse? Or do I look better? Do I look the same? Do I look worse? Or do I look better? Just in case that man decides to act a fool or change his mind and go yonder, tomorrow, today, you got to be on ready. That means if he changes his mind right now, you know what? This is not for me. Okay. You should be market ready. Exactly. You so leveled up that you can walk out the same night and get you another one. Are you on ready? Are you on market ready? Yep. Feel good and look your best. And this is how you know if you're really leveled up, ladies. Can you get better than what you have right now? Hold on. Let me say it slower. Can you get better than what you have right now? All across the board. For all my ladies who
Imagine if her and Cher collab. Would go crazy. I don't even know who this is. Ashley Dalton. But yeah, also take notice of that. If your life improves when a guy's not in it, take notice of your life improving and don't invite guys in your life that are going to make your quality of life worse just because you don't want to be lonely. Part of the reason why I tell you guys as soon as you want to detach from men, build a routine, start doing some things for you. You don't have to go out to the club and shake your booty to Sexy Red, but you can go out places that just, excite you and you find interesting and that you enjoy to remind yourself that your life exists outside of this man and that you have a great, wonderful, fulfilling life, whether he's there or not, because your happiness shouldn't go away just because a man goes away, right?
All right, so you want to hear something completely sick and sadistic that men do. I'm going to be honest. If you understand...
Sure. Shock me.
This one core concept about men, you will understand the psychology of men overall. And this is a big secret. The guys are going to hate me for sharing this. Listen, if you're getting out of a breakup right now, there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is you're feeling the weight of this breakup a lot more than the guy is. In fact, he's probably out there partying, talking to girls, living the single life. And you're sitting there watching him post on Instagram and have fun, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, what's even going on? Does this guy even like me anymore? We dated for multiple years, and now all of a sudden this guy's out there partying, enjoying life to the fullest. And here's the truth, because men typically wait and hold off their emotions for the first 3 months. It can sometimes be longer, but usually the average is around 3 months. So with this in mind, usually after the 3-month mark, you're gonna start to see the guy start to desperately post on Instagram to try to get your attention. He's gonna be posting things like him with girls, him at the club, him doing just all these crazy things, because again, the effort is to get your attention. He's gonna be doing everything possible to try to get you to go creep on him on Instagram, on social media, or send him that message that he's long been waiting for. And by that 3-month mark, usually women have just completely gotten over it. And then that feeling starts to settle in for guys. They're laying there, it's like 1 a.m, they can't sleep, they're tossing and turning, they're like, wait a minute, it's only been 3 months and she's already over it. And again, that's usually because women just process everything right away. They're way more mature about things and how they actually process their feelings. And then it's just way easier for girls to move on after 3 months. But the guys, they struggle. They struggle a lot. It could be years for a guy before he even gets over that relationship. And the first 3 months, it looked like he was partying, living life to the fullest. Now, the one thing that you should expect as a woman from a guy is usually around this stage, he will probably give in to his emotions and he'll probably text you. They always come back. And if he doesn't, it's usually because he just found someone better for him. And that's nothing against you. It's usually for the best. So yeah, if he doesn't text you, he found someone else. If he does text you, he realized that the grass isn't always greener. Use information.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. For a lot of guys, it takes them a while to they do the early stage stuff where they go out with their boys and then they make themselves feel like everything is okay, and only after a while do they realize that it's not really that good being out here in these streets. I mean, after you smash every girl that you can, what is there left to life? And so that's when they start, spiraling a little bit. But what you have to do is you have to stay strong despite when the guys that you're dating start spiraling, because if they start spiraling, you can't be in a position where you start thinking to yourself, damn, I really appreciate this attention that I'm getting from you. And now I feel like maybe we can be together if you really want us to be together that badly. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you're better off now.
Y'all are not understanding how this game works. A man does not pay you for going on a date. Okay? You have to be the type of woman that they will not let go of because you make them look good. They will offer you anything to see you again. That's the correct target. You understand? They got to feel like they just won the lottery when they step in public with you. All heads must turn when you and that person walk in the room. They must wonder who he is and how he got you. If you don't do that, you're not getting no type of money. Okay? I'm telling y'all the game. And the uglier he is, the easier it is to do. The older he is, the easier it is to do. Okay?
Wait, so is Sugar telling y'all to get an ugly rich man? Chat, is that the vibes? I don't know. I don't know. I don't be advising that, but I don't know. Sharon may be advising y'all to get the ugly rich man. Okay, I didn't know the ugly was a part of that. So what I'll say to this is, the idea of him, you serving his ego by being the one that makes him feel good about himself is very true. And if you can, as a woman, attach yourself to a man's ego, well, you'll get a lot of things. Because now if you walk out of his life, what also leaves? His sense of self-worth, which is good. Actually, I know it sounds manipulative, but that's good because then he'll actually treat you with some respect. So what needs to happen is when you date men, you want to make sure that, first of all, you keep your happiness first and invest in yourself even more, especially if it's a guy that you really like. Because as you invest in yourself even more, you grow your confidence. And then when other people see you or meet you, they're more attracted to you. Now you get an opportunity for the guy that you like to see how much your desire. What is that doing? That's increasing his level of desire for you. I know it sounds really twisted, but that's the reality. Because when they see or take notice of the fact that all these other people want you, even though they already see that you're desirable and attractive, it makes them want to hoard you even more. And it creates that protective instinct in them even more. And it boosts their ego even more to even get an opportunity with you. But if you make the mistake of dating a guy and then immediately investing all your time and energy into him, what's going to happen? You're going to be zapped of the investment into yourself. You're going to lose all your standards. You're going to stop, going to the gym. You're going to stop taking care of yourself. You're going to stop doing all the things that were making you you and making you an attractive, confident version of yourself. Why? Because you're investing all of your time and energy into him. Then once you stop doing that, you're going to realize that my only source of happiness is from him. And then he's going to start thinking, you're so desperate for my attention and my validation, it's actually quite unattractive. So it kind of all snowballs in one direction or the other, but you got to make sure it goes in the right direction that we actually want for you. Okay, let's hop into our next segment of the day, which is going to be a very special segment. You should know what segment this is if you've been here for a period of time. Tell me in the chat. You better spam it in the chat. You better tell me in the chat. You better spam it in the chat if you know what time it is. It's a very, very special time. You're going to laugh and you're going to cry. Don't look at your clock. Don't look at your watch. Don't look at your phone. Don't look nowhere else in your home. It's Discord time! Yeah! Sorry, I just need to get a scream out sometimes. All right, chat. Let's hop into our next segment, our Discord segment, where we're going to talk about something very special. So for those of you who don't know what happens in Discord time is where all the amazing members of the Discord chat community get an opportunity to ask me a question about their relationship or situationship, and I answer it live on the show, okay? Now, there's multiple ways for you to send in your question. You can either do it through our free relationship advice section. That's available in the link in my bio on TikTok or the link in my description on YouTube. You can also, but you have to be aware, if you submit your question, right, in our Discord here in our free section, it's a first come, first serve basis. And as you can see here, there's lots of highlighted questions that I still need to get to before I can get to yours if you send yours in today. So it's going to take me a couple weeks to get to yours. Now, that's not to diss you, and I want to answer your question. So if you are someone that needs to get your question answered urgently, you don't have time to wait, all right? You need this answered today or tomorrow. You can also get access to our premium relationship advice section simply by going to the same link on TikTok in my bio or the link in my description. Click where it says premium relationship advice. You donate to the show. When you donate to the show, it's going to prompt you to put in your username, your Discord username, and the title of your question. I get a notification on my phone to know that that's you and that's your question, and your question belongs in the premium Discord section. And that way, when I answer it, it keeps it fair to everyone, and people are only in here if they're supposed to be. Because I take these premium questions and I answer them first before I go into the free section. It's like skipping the line past type of thing. And the other option you have, if you don't want me to talk about your business live on the show, you can also send me a private relationship advice question, which a lot of people have been doing, and I will answer your question via your email. It's like a prompt. It'll give you a prompt. You copy and paste your message, and then I respond to you via a voice message, and I send it back to you through your email, and you can get your answer that way, okay? Multiple ways for you to get your question. Let's go on with our first question of the day in our premium section, which comes from Princessin. Okay, 4D. Update texting boundary question. Hey, Tommy, it's my fault. I didn't provide more context in my last post. I'm 26, and this guy who's 25 just started talking. I just started talking to him less than a month ago. This was his first offense of crossing my boundary, which is why I gave him the warning. And when it happened again, I let him feel the warning, as in withdrawing myself from him. I need him to understand I am serious. As a refresh, first time he said he would call, but didn't. I gave him the warning. He didn't call again with an excuse of his phone being dead. I've been ignoring for about a week plus. He's been consistently reaching out since I've been ignoring / withdrawing my energy. Today, he reached out again saying, hey, been thinking about you, beautiful. Text me back. I have plans for you, my queen. Okay. It's clear he's chasing. So in that situation, do you recommend I say something like, if I'm going to consider moving forward, I need to hear your plan to ensure this doesn't happen. No plan, no point. Or what should I say? No. So if he said exactly this, this is what you respond. What were you thinking? That's all. No. I know that, chat. I know my way of telling you guys and advising you guys to text sounds so simple to the point where you're like, I feel like that's too little, right? But I promise you, when guys approach you, so what's happening here? He's approaching you with an offer. Hey, please text me back. I have an offer for you. You don't need to say anymore. He's telling you, I have an offer for you. I want to see you. I want to spend time with you. All you got to do is say, okay. I know it's scary when you've been someone that's used to being on edge and chasing men, or you've been used to like feeling like you have to do a lot of work to get the men interested in you. But when you start reversing that and realizing the moment you get them to take a step forward, all you do is you stay put, you don't do anything. They continue to take steps forward and you continue to do nothing, and they just continue to take steps forward. And it's perfect. You'll realize how much energy you are wasting by over-explaining, over-chatting, overdoing all this, overcompensating and all this other stuff, when all you had to do was just let him come to you. And when he comes to you, just say, okay, let's see, right? He says he wants to have planned for you and this and that. What were you thinking? He tells you a day. You decide if you're free that day or if you're not free that day. What time? Okay, that works for me. Cool. Where do you want to go? Okay, that works for me. Cool, right? And you just let him continue leading. Or is the recommendation to still get rid of him? I get your points, but curious if the fact that it's his first offense would change anything. Yeah, if it's the first offense, okay, you're at the very beginning of the relationship. So let's see how he responds here. Clearly, like you said, he's chasing. So all you have to say is, okay, yeah, where do you want to go? Or what would you have in mind? You don't have to say anything more than that. Seeing as me and him just started talking and getting to know one another, I don't mind walking away if you suggest, but I thought I'd provide further context. Lastly, I'm curious to get a better understanding of whether we should expect a man to come to us with his own solution or after some time of withdrawing our energy. As he continues to reach out, if we should tell him he needs to provide a solution for us to continue talking. Of course, then letting him come up with a solution, but making it known is required. I still don't want to mother him, but perhaps this setting this expectation for the first offense could help inspire him to be solution oriented later on in the relationship if issues were to arise. What do you think? Thanks so much for your help. So here's my estimation. Based on the situation that you described to me, I think he has a clue why you started withdrawing from him. And he is trying to at least attempt to make it back up. I guarantee you, if you just say, okay, do nothing, let him lead this and get you on this date like he's been saying, I have plans for you, right? Let him go about those plans. And let's have you go on that date. And let's see if he comes on that date with some sort of, at least conversation about, hey, I shouldn't have done this. I was wrong in ignoring you or going or not sticking to my plans, like you said, right? And I need to go about this a different way. And in the future, I will do blah, 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 blah. Let's see if he brings that up, right? Or let's see if on this date, all he says is, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, I like you so much. Oh my God, you're the most amazing thing since sliced bread, right? That's not real, actual beneficial conversation. So use this as an opportunity to kind of observe, how does he respond to adversity? So when he makes a mistake and you withdraw, what's his first inclination? To think deeply about what he did and make a decision on how to problem solve? Or is his first inclination to just love bomb you with so many I love yous and I think you're amazing? Okay. So actually what I want you to do is go on the date, right? You're not going to plan it or anything. Let him plan it and do all the stuff, but use this opportunity to see how he responds and see if he actually does problem solving or if he just decides to problem solve by love bombing type of thing. Right. So that's what I think you should do. All right. Let's go to our next question here in our free section. Scroll down a little bit. Our next question here comes from Iris. So Iris says, dating a classmate. Okay. Hi, Tomisin. Hope you remember my post from a few months ago. The girl who had pineapples with her close friend and eventually got ghosted. Very, very tragic, your story. I've been moving on since then. I still miss him, but I think it's getting easier. My question today is not about him. I'm about to start dating someone new, but the situation is a little complicated and I need your advice. So the guy, let's call him A, is actually my classmate. I've known him for... You're of age, right? I believe so from your last question. A few years now, but we were never close. I never showed him the same interest he showed me because all I had eyes for was that friend I told you about that who I had feelings for. But now I'm trying to move on since I'm interested in pursuing a relationship with A, and it's our last semester. Okay, yeah, you're of age. Anyways, so I don't have to worry about how awkward it'll be to remain classmates if we break up or anything. But the thing is, I kind of have history with A's best friend. Excuse me, who is also our classmate. Damn. What type of class is this? All your boyfriends are in one class? Let's call him B. Last year, I was briefly friends with B and he liked me, but I didn't feel the same way. And it got weird, so I ghosted him. So now it's awkward to be dating this is his best friend? Like, okay, so you're actually mean like his best friend. His best friend. I found out that many of our classmates, what type of class is this? Now, I found out that many of our classmates know what have happened between me and B. Why? Okay. How old are you? Why would all your classmates know that something has happened between you and another guy? Because I'm assuming you're in university. So if you're in university, how would everyone know that something has gone on with you guys? There's like hundreds of people in each class. So they'll be judging me for even if it was all the same, why would they know your business? Sure, if I go after his best friend now, is it okay to date him? It's not like I was in a relationship with B anyways, we were just talking. A asked me out on a date already and I've said yes, but we haven't set a date yet. Should I back out? Does it say anything about him that he's okay with dating someone his best friend liked? Don't guys have a code or something? No. Bro code is something that is off in thin air somewhere. Trust me. When guys are horned up, when guys want to backdoor you, ain't no bro code. Trust you me, right? What if he tries to take revenge for his friend, or am I too paranoid? He seems genuinely interested in me, and he has shown interest even before I became friends with his friend. I'll probably already be dating him by the time I hear your advice on this. So please give me advice on how to behave around B. Should I try to be friends again for A's sake, or just keep ignoring him like I've been doing since last year? Okay, I'm gonna give you some simple advice here. Obviously, you like A and you want to pursue a relationship with A. What you want to do here is, you're gonna do two things at once. We don't need you telling him all about your relationship with B and making him feel insecure about that. But we also don't want to make it seem like you're hiding anything. So if he does ever ask about it, be very transparent about it and the situation, and, don't make him start to feel like there's something more to it, right? But if he's not going to bring it up and he doesn't care himself to bring it up, don't bother talking about it. It's irrelevant. Now, the other thing here is because they're best friends and because you have talked to him before, there's a chance he may or may not already know that. But what you don't want to make the mistake of doing, if you actually care about A and his feelings, you don't want to make him feel like there's any sort of leftover feelings that you have towards B. So you don't want to start... You would rather be in a position where if he's the guy you're talking to, you'd rather have to have him tell you, yo, like, be nice to the guy. Like, you can talk to the guy. Why are you being so mean to him or whatever? You'd rather have to have him tell you that than him to see you kind of having conversation with him and feel like something's going on and get rubbed the wrong way, because you don't want to send the wrong message, right? If you're pursuing a relationship with A, it's most important that you care about what A sees you, how he sees you or perceives you, and you don't want him to be confused about your intentions towards B guy, especially since you already kind of talked to him for a little bit, and I'd rather you just continue to ignore him, right? And if he asks about your situation with B or what happened before, then you explain to him, yeah, we just talked, we didn't do anything, make it clear there wasn't anything physical. That's really big for guys. And then allow the situation to move forward. But you don't need to be bringing it up if he's not bringing it up, okay? I think that's pretty straightforward for you there. All right, let's go to our next question, which comes from, I see some people said, Shyla, okay? I like that name, Shyla. Does my boyfriend even like me? I've been seeing my boyfriend for 4 months and dating for 3. And I'm at the point where I'm questioning whether I should continue the relationship or not. For context, we're both 28. He has experience in relationships while this is my first. He initially showed interest a year ago, but it took him 8 months to make a move. At first, I thought he was taking his time to be sure of things, but now it feels like our relationship is moving incredibly slow. Wow. We only see each other once every other week. How far do you guys live from each other? Okay, you didn't mention here. Once every other week, though, is crazy. And we've never spoken on the phone. Never, ever? Most of our communication happens through Snapchat. The guy you're in a 1-year relationship with, that's your boyfriend. You communicate to him through Snapchat. Let me stand up and take a little break here, cause oh boy, I just gonna we're gonna take a little second here, chat, cause I'm gonna sip some water and things, and I'm gonna prepare myself mentally for what I'm probably gonna have to tell you in a couple of sentences here, in a couple of paragraphs. Shiloh. Let's see. Which I find a bit immature. Yeah. Sometimes he goes 2 to 4 days without contacting me. Especially if I'm on holiday, saying he wanted to give me space. I don't appreciate that, but I'll spare you the details of that conversation. I've tried 3 times to hint that I'd like to see him more often, mentioning that I miss him and I don't need fancy dates. I'd be happy doing simple things like shopping, working out, or even just going on a walk together. He listened, but nothing changed. My patience ran out last week when I got really sick. I messaged him to apologize for not responding that day. And while he wished me well, he ignored me for 4 days. When I asked him if something was wrong, he said he thought I needed space. I expressed how hurt I was and suggested we talk face to face. He offered to meet up, but only 3 days later, But only 3 days later. What do you mean? I was upset that he didn't just call me, choosing to let things drag on like that. When we finally met, I laid everything out. I told him I can't build a relationship with someone who's so distant and that he needed to show some urgency. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. When you ask for it, they never do it. I also said I wanted to stop communicating through Snapchat and that he needs to stop going more than 24 hours without talking to me. We haven't finished this message chat, but I want all of you to tell me, what do you think is happening right now? If you had to just take a wild guess, just throw something up in the air, right? Tell me, chat, what you think is transpiring right now. So far, what you think is actually going on, and we'll discuss after. I expressed that we should spend more time together, and that if his idea of keeping me happy is taking me out on to expensive restaurants twice a month, that wouldn't work. Remember, this is her boyfriend, chat, so tell me what you guys think is going on. He acknowledged that his exes had similar complaints, but said that it's just the way he is. He did promise to work on communication, but said nothing about spending more time together. For the past week, he stopped sending Snapchats and has spoken to me daily, but the conversations have been lackluster. He just reports what he's doing without real engagement. I asked to hang out on Sunday, and while he initially agreed, he canceled the day before because he forgot it was his nephew's birthday and didn't reschedule. When I was offered to keep him company on the way back from the birthday by talking on the phone, he claimed, "You offered this. You offered." He claimed to be too busy and didn't suggest calling later. Once again, chat, tell me what you think is happening. Tell me what you think is secretly happening. I really wanted this relationship to work, and I recognize that I have my own anxieties, which I've been working on, but I feel like concerns are legitimate. Very. I'm not sure if I should give it more time or if it's already doomed. I'm good. You're going to be in for such a rude awakening when we finish this message. It seems like his insistence on giving me space reflects what he really wants. I've decided to pull back this week and take it easy, but I'm struggling to see the point of continuing. Me too. Wanting to see my partner once a week doesn't feel like, it's not even once a week. Girl, you were saying it was once every other week. Doesn't feel like too much to ask, right? That's how you guys are seeing each other once every 2 weeks. I don't expect him to be in love with me yet, but by now he should at least care and show it, right? This is an update. So update, I broke up with him 3 days after because I realized I was trying to get close with it to him more, and he was pushing me away, and I didn't deserve that. He has shown in the past that he could be affectionate. He, for example, got me loads of presents for my birthday. It got flowers with a religious quote on marriage and used to compliment me. I think his mentality is not ready for a relationship, and I have doubts he might be financially struggling, and his idea of a relationship is to splash cash, which is why he won't see me often. But how would I know? Did I do anything wrong, and should I try to give it a chance one more time or just move on? Charlotte, I'm going to give you a dose of reality here, okay? There are a couple of things that are most likely happening here simply because of the circumstances that are going on. Obviously, you broke up with him, but I know you probably want some clarity. Anytime, and I want you to really hear this, anytime a guy is communicating with you majority on Snapchat, there's a reason for that, okay? I want to make it clear to all of you here who are Snapchat warriors or talk to some guys on Snapchat. Guys get on Snapchat to act a fool. They get on Snapchat to be sneaky, and they get on Snapchat to act a fool, okay? At least the older ones. Grown, mature men who are still communicating with you, right, mostly on Snapchat, are getting on there to be sneaky. Whether it be to be sneaky with you or to be sneaky without you, with someone else. And that's just the reality of life that I want you all to come to and understand, okay? You understand the preface of Snapchat is that you won't be able to get caught or get screenshotted on what you're saying or what you're doing. So it's by far the most loved app by the men who are trying to be sneaky. If a man is trying to talk to you majority on Snapchat, and he's grown, there's usually something going on there. Okay? And like you mentioned here, This guy you guys are both 28. Okay? I'm telling you this as a guy. Guys don't use Snapchat for fun if they're grown. They're using it for you could call it fun, but they're using it for a specific reason. They're specifically on Snapchat for a specific reason. So I'm saying that's what single guys do. So the fact that your boyfriend, the guy that you would go out and tell other people, this is my boyfriend, you're communicating with your boyfriend majority of the time on Snapchat is a red flag that I've never actually seen in the Players Club before. I've never actually seen a red flag that red in the Players Club before, where a man that you call your boyfriend is communicating to you majority on Snapchat. That is very, very bad. And what I'm going to say to you might, confuse you or shock you. But the reality of it is, if that guy is talking to you majority of the time on Snapchat, there is a high likelihood that you are actually not his girlfriend. That you are the side chick who thinks you're his girlfriend to his wife or his actual girlfriend. Because there is no reason whatsoever that a man should be messaging his main girlfriend that everyone knows is his girlfriend, that he acknowledges he's going out with and dating, that he would be messaging her majority of the time on Snapchat when he has your number, has all your other social media, knows where you live, can call you, can FaceTime you, right? Can WhatsApp you, whatever you. And he's messaging you on Snapchat. And he's a 28-year-old grown man. I have to be real with you. You're probably a side chick. Or you broke up with him, but you were probably a side chick. And I'm not saying this because I want to just put things, in your head that weren't happening. I'm just saying this based on breaking down some of the logic. And see, here's the thing. When people act in a way that seems illogical to you, right? Seems like it doesn't make sense to you. Sometimes it's because you're lacking information that if you had that information, the logic would make sense. So let's put that into perspective here. If a guy is dating you and he's messaging you on Snapchat majority of the time, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. There's no logic there. If a guy is dating you and he's only seeing you once every 2 weeks, and you have to really beg him to even take you out on a date, and he doesn't seem interested in talking to you, that logically doesn't really make sense. I mean, you're his girlfriend. But what would make all of that make logical sense is if you were the actual side chick and he had a whole nother girlfriend, then him messaging you on Snapchat all the time would actually make a lot of logical sense. Him being very aloof sometimes he doesn't have time for you a lot of the times, and he doesn't want to talk to you for long extended periods would make a lot of sense, because when he's spending his time with his actual girlfriend, he doesn't want to get caught by you messaging him or messaging you on a consistent basis. It also would make the situation where he went home after, you said that he went home after his nephew's birthday party, and you offered to call him, but he didn't even want to speak to you on the phone because he was too busy, but he's just in the car driving. How can he be too busy when in the car driving? But it would make sense if when he's on his way back, he's actually in the car driving with his girlfriend. Then it would make sense that he actually doesn't want you to call because he is busy with his actual girlfriend. I'm not saying that to cast any aspersions. I don't know him, and I can't speak for what he has done or not done. But what I will say is the logic train makes a lot more sense based on everything you described if he has a girlfriend or a wife, like Rosa just said, right? A girlfriend or a wife, right? Then all of what he does makes perfect sense. If he really has no girlfriend or wife, a lot of what he's doing doesn't make any logical sense. But like I said, when things stop making logical sense, it's usually because you're missing information that will make it make sense. And so I say that to say, I think you did the right thing breaking up with him, because I don't even think you were a priority, even regardless of whether he has another wife or a girlfriend. You weren't a priority to him. And you shouldn't continue to invest yourself in a relationship and in a man that doesn't make you a priority. Okay. That's like a non-starter from the very beginning. So you did the right thing breaking up with him. And now for the future, let's keep it that way. Let's not re-entertain this man because it's been a couple of weeks and you're lonely. Let's not bring him back into your life because you feel like he says sorry or he says, I miss you. Okay. Let's keep him gone and keep him, honestly, with his wife or girlfriend that he probably was with this entire time anyways. Okay. Let's go to our next question here. Let's see who it comes from today. Our next question comes from 111. Okay. 111. Grateful. Hi, Tomisin. I'm 26. I'm so glad I found you months ago during my 3-year single journey. I'm now focused on marriage because I don't want to waste time anymore. Good. I become very comfortable living alone. And when I said single, I mean I've been single without dating, kissing, or anything else for the past 3 years. Not because I couldn't move on, but I move on very quickly, no matter how long the relationship was. I simply cut it off and give no second chance. And you're right about letting them know at the beginning, since I mention on every date that I give no second chances on cheating. I've gladly never been cheated on in any relationship. Instead, I leave them after doing too much for them. But now I feel like I might not be able to give any kind of love again because I've realized my past mistakes, although I do want to have a family in the future and value a relationship a lot. What do you mean? But I know I was doing too much and it was all wrong. Watching your videos literally makes me feel like my third eye has been opened. So my concern is I'm very bold and a straightforward communicator, but I also enjoy being playful and bantering with my close ones. At some point, we need to be close and discuss feelings, arguments, and other important things, of course. My question is, how can I stay mysterious and keep him, my future husband, attracted to me, even though I'm such a direct communicator? Since we'll be spending our whole lives together, I worry that my real communication style might turn him off after being mysterious in the beginning. Thank you, Tomisin. You're so great. I'm glad I found you. Okay, so let me answer to you this in a very logical way that you will be able to understand and take with you. What you want is you want to understand in the beginning, you're setting things up for what you're eventually trying to get to. So you have to understand the process of progression means that things, how they look right now in the beginning is not necessarily how they're supposed to look in the future. So just because you do certain things in the beginning of your relationship to keep mystery or to keep it interesting, right? That doesn't mean those are going to be the exact same things you do or the way you approach the relationship when you've been dating them for 3 or 4 years. So what I mean by that is you have to understand that there's a process to progressing where after a while, you're going to have more communication that's more direct. And it's not just always going to be you completely withdrawing and not saying anything to him, right? But what you want to understand and be careful of is that you don't get into the habit, whether you've been in a relationship with him for a long time or a short time, don't get into the habit of being an over-explainer and a complainer. So what I mean by that is when you start noticing that he's not doing the right thing, or let's say a guy is not showing you the right amount of effort or focus in the relationship, don't get into the habit of sending him big, long paragraphs or telling him, you've mistreated me like this, you've done this, you've done that, you've done this, you've done that, you don't see how you're doing me so wrong and you do this, and blah, blah, blah. And then when you go off like that, you think that you're saying something and then he's actually getting through his head and he's like, oh my God, now I want to make a change. But you have to understand the reality of it is guys only feel it's necessary to make a change when they feel like they actually need to make a change or else they're going to lose out on the woman that they have, or, you know, they're going to be, you know, it's about to end type of thing. And so I say that to say, when you're in a relationship, you have to understand the best way to communicate with people. Like, it's not that you're not going to tell them how you feel, but you want to limit over explaining yourself. And you also want to limit the long soliloquies about their mistreatment. And what you want to start doing instead is observing, hey, okay, we had a conversation about something. I told you how I feel. I was clear about, you know, what I feel and what I expect from any partner, not just you, any partner. And we've had that conversation and we've provided each other with clarity. After that, you then observe his actions. If he's going to continuously not do the things that you ask for and not, show you what you want in a relationship, then you have to start making the decision that, oh, then this relationship isn't for me. You have to understand that in a relationship, you're both going to be sacrificing, and there both has to be a desire from both sides that, yeah, you know what? Not everything is going to be what I want, and not everything's going to be what you want. Sometimes there are going to be some things that you dislike or need me to adjust on that I might not necessarily even feel like I need to adjust on. But because I love you, care about you, and want this relationship to succeed, I try and make an adjustment. There has to be a willingness on both parts. So when you guys have conversations and you communicate, I'm talking about when your relationship's really serious now, there should be a desire for him to make an adjustment. He should have that. And he should want to make you happy, meaning when he sees that you're unhappy with how things are going or that you've withdrawn from him, he should have a desire to make a change or come to a compromise or come to an understanding. If he doesn't, then you're in a relationship with the wrong man. Because you can't build a relationship off of begging a guy to feel sorry and want to make a change. You can't build it like that. You'll end up stressing yourself out trying to get him to see how he's done you wrong. And instead, what you need to be in and what the relationship you need to be looking for is a man who actually has intention of building with you and wants to have a healthy relationship with you. And because you guys have a shared goal, he then in turn makes sacrifices and has the desire to make adjustments for you so that your relationship is better. Then all you have to do is communicate once how you feel, or tell him or help him understand what you're looking for or what you want. And once you do that one time, he makes an adjustment because he wants you to be happy, right? And he wants to see you happy. And it becomes very easy like that. So what you're looking for here is the dynamic that allows you to be in a situation where because he wants to be in a relationship with you and build with you and you guys have a shared goal, then through that avenue, you're able to communicate, but communicate one time or communicate efficiently where you're not over explaining and begging and pleading for him to do the same thing and going on a hamster wheel. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, chat. That's the show for today. For those of you who have a question for me and you want me to answer it very, very quickly, ASAP, you can donate to our Discord Premium, or you can donate to the show as well for a private relationship question as well. You can do that through the link in my bio on TikTok or the link in my description on YouTube. For those of you, let me answer this super chat here. Jasmine donates $5 in the YouTube chat. She says, "Love you bad. You have helped me immensely." Sorry. This all I got. I got rent due tomorrow. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you for the $5 so much, Jasmine. All right. For those of you guys who are wanting to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is right above my head on the top left corner of the screen. It's just Tomisin_Tub, and it's in the link in my description for those of you who are on YouTube. For those of you who want to follow me on, not follow me, I said follow me already. For those of you who want to rewatch the show, for those of you who are on YouTube, you want to rewatch the show in all its entirety because you missed some parts or you came late, it's available on my YouTube channel. It's just Tomisin Atobatele, right on the top corner of the screen, top right corner of the screen. Go on my YouTube page, go into the live section. You'll see this live show along with all the other live shows since the beginning of time, and you'll have the YouTube and TikTok live chat embedded in the video there for you to watch. All right. For those of you who want to access the show exactly when I come on live and know when I come on live, I'm live every day, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday. So you're going to catch me live tomorrow on Friday at exactly 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, chat. I will see you tomorrow then. Until then, arrivederci, adios, bon voyage. Oh, no, arrivederci, adios, hasta la vista, sayonara, ciao, salam. What else? I'm missing some. I got to add more. Bien, right? Bien, salam. I said that one. Okay. Bye. Paka. Is that a good? That's another one. All right. Bon voyage. Au revoir. Right. Bon voyage. And I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. Until then, goodbye for now. It won't be long.